today we have something really quite exciting to look at. It is from Hornby. It is the GNR first class four-wheel coach with lights, no less. Now it's exciting because this has only just been announced. It's in the 2021 new range, and here we have an actual sample in a box ready for sale. This is part of their new range of generic coaches. So it's not actually a model of a particular coach, but it's designed to be an attractive pre-grouping coach suitable for early model railways. Now, I know that's exciting, but quite frankly, you don't want to see the box, you want to see the model. So let's unpack it, and we have a box. We have the coach in the traditional clamshell packing. What looks like some spare step boards, so that we can add those. So that we can add those later to the model. And underneath we have a red thing, which I believe is the device for turning the lights on and off. But we'll come back to that later if I can get it out of the box. I'll struggle with that for a minute. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the coach. And as you can see, it is the teak finish version. There are several liveries of this coach, and it's going to be available in both 4 and 6 wheel variants. And there'll be a large number of alternative chassis, alternative lamp tops, and as I say, different liveries as well. But let's concentrate on what we've got. This is, as I say, very much the first time we've seen this model. Well, as you can see, very, very attractive coach. The grab handles look like they're separate attachments. Hornby certainly haven't skimped on this, and it's in the teak livery. Now, Hornby do have form on teak livery. They've done it very, very well in the past, and I have to say this is looking pretty good. Drop lights are painted, and we have some very neat printing and for the lettering, and some very, very neat lining. I certainly wouldn't fancy trying to do that myself by hand. The coach has compartments. We can see those through the windows, and if we look underneath, we have the underframe. Now, this is the four-wheel underframe. As I say, there are 6-wheel variants of this coach as well to look forward to. Standard couplings on the end, NEM pockets, that sort of thing. Metal buffers, but they're not sprung. I don't think that's a problem. And vac pipes on the end. That's all very nice and exciting. Let's run a ruler over it. And over the buffers, we are talking, as I think, 11.5 centimetres, and so the wheelbase is 6 centimetres. Certainly free running enough, but then, yeah, let's be honest, we'd expect that, because it actually feels like it's got a bit of weight to it. It's coming in at 64 grams, so yeah, it certainly feels like it's got a bit of weight to it. This coach. I suspect we're going to want to know what the wheel diameter is. So let's just pop a wheel set out, and that came out easily enough there, so I suspect anybody looking to do P4 will be quite happy to better pop that out. EM or P4 modelers may well be interested. I know they're generic coaches, I know they're not exactly right for any prototype, but there we are, 14mm diameter wheels, which is kind of what we'd expect. Pop the wheels back in, brake gear, all the underframe. Considering this is a generic coach, there's a reasonable amount of underframe detail on here as well. However, one of the exciting things you'll have spotted is this little tab here, and we'll be investigating that in a moment. I've extracted a little tab from underneath the brake pull rods, and if I pull that out, which takes quite a tug actually to get that out of there, I believe I have now connected the batteries, and in fact you can probably see the lights are now on in the coach. You can just see those through the windows, little LEDs in the top. I've also extracted the special Hornby tool. I have to say that was a challenge to get out of the packing as well. It's good and tight in there, so it's not moving around. And I believe if I bring the magnet, which is what it is, to the roof of the coach, it switches off the lights. Bring it back in again, and on the lights go. Now that is impressive. I'm going to, I can see through the windows that there's a raised area of the floor where the battery box is, and I assume that you get in through the top of the coach, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. But that, I have to say, is very neat. Let's flip the lights out, and I think you can clearly see the lighting working very effectively in there. You're probably wondering how the batteries are accessed, and to be honest, so was I, because there aren't any instructions in this coach because it's an early model, and not a completely production one. But it seems that you gently pull away at the soul bar, and there we have it. The coach is now split in two. You can see that you've got a fairly standard battery holder in there with a single CR032 button cell in there, and it just clips on and off the model. Now, because what we do is take things apart, let's have a look a bit further in there, and there we can see the if we look in the roof, we can see the LEDs. And I suspect I'm probably there we go. There's the switch. I can switch them on with the magnet and switch them off with the magnet. That's all fitted in the roof, and then we can see the compartments. Nice bit of painting in the compartments, actually. Nice matte blue, because this is a first class coach. And let's hope I can now put it back together again. Just being careful with the routing of the cables. There it goes. Slots back in nicely. Chassis, nice bit of weight in the chassis. Just locate it back on the lugs, and there we have it. So there we have it. I have to say, this might be a generic coach. It may not be up to the finest, highest standards of a really expert kit builder, but it's a cracking model. I'd certainly be more than happy to run this on my layout, and I think most people will feel the same. If you look at all the details, it's very attractive and would look great behind any early locomotive. I'm thinking something like a Terrier, for example, on the front would just look magnificent with 2 or 3 of these behind it. So well done, Hornby. Another exciting addition to the range. You'll find a full review of these coaches in the next issue of British Rail Modelling, so look out for that on the newsstands, and I hope you've enjoyed this little unboxing.